So touching again on the idea of image, and in Marilyn's case, how her image sort of began to consume her life and to cover up the real Marilyn, the real woman who was behind this image, behind this mask. You know, it's a wonderful thing for people and for women to feel free and to be able to express themselves and show themselves, their bodies, and express sensuality. That's important. It's a part of the human experience, and it's a side that we all have to us. But the unfortunate thing is that it's often wrapped up around others. So what I mean by that is, in Marilyn's case, which, you know, this is the 40s and the 50s in America, it was very commonplace for women to be objectified and sexualized, objectified mostly for the pleasure and attractiveness, perceived attractiveness, that they brought to men, powerful men at this time. And for Norma Jean, for Marilyn, the woman beneath the image, this acceptance and this praise and this admiration and this desirability and lust translated into acceptance and love. You know, I one day will have a video, many videos, speaking more on this. But at this point, it is pretty widely recognized that Norma Jean was someone who survived many different kinds of complex traumas, not only in her childhood and her upbringing, but throughout her career as well. She was totally treated as a commodity and totally objectified and valued at just the false face value of what others, namely the powerful men of the time, what they perceived her value as, which was wrapped up in her image, in her outer shell, her face and her body. And we see this personified in the role she played, right? And we see it personified in a lot of the images that were captured, which were oftentimes for publicity purposes. I don't know who this man is, but it looks like he brought her some chocolates. She's getting her hair done. And I wonder if that's Agnes Flanagan? Sorry, Agnes, if I'm mispronouncing her last name. She's the woman who did Marilyn's hair for all of her life. This was a thing for Marilyn, is that she often kept the same people around her for her whole life, and they kind of became her family in a way, because she didn't really have much of a biological family around her. And that was really hard for her, as it would be for anyone. It's a tough situation, but she was, like Lauren Bacall, she was also a tough cookie. Anyway, going back to the image. And here we have, I'll go this way for us. There we are. Yet another pair of lucite heels. Gosh, she had them in every color, didn't she? So yeah, you know, it's just, I think Marilyn undoubtedly enjoyed her image. She enjoyed being that joyful, sexy, glamorous goddess of the times, but she didn't want to stay there, and it was just a role. It was just a mask. It wasn't really her, but in her mind, she was giving the people what they wanted, right? She was giving the people what she felt she needed to give them to be accepted, to be admired, to be loved, and to continue to get work. So this is the premiere of How to Marry a Millionaire. And early in Marilyn's career, when she had a premiere to go to, she oftentimes struggled to find an escort. She struggled to find people to go with her. Because even when she was married, her husbands weren't too keen about being a part of her Hollywood life. That really wasn't them. And I'm not sure if at this time she was with Joe DiMaggio. It may have been the beginnings of their romance. But if she was, Joe probably wouldn't have wanted to go to the premiere. And so I remember reading that she kind of came along. She was the third wheel for Lauren Bacall, her co-star, of course, and Lauren's husband, Humphrey Bogart. So, an interesting party, right? And there she is on her own. In that classic Marilyn Monroe gorgeous gown and sumptuous furs. And some jewelry. Beautiful. Alright, so here's a really cute photo of Marilyn and Joe together. So I'm not going to go too much into their relationship because that is many, many videos all on its own. And, you know, I sometimes I really struggle to gather my thoughts when I'm doing these because I just sort of speak to whatever comes to me as I'm looking at the photos. What I will say, though, is that there's no black and whites in life. It's all kinds of gray. And their relationship was definitely all kinds of grays. And there's a lot to discuss there.